Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And today we're going to be covering Red Knight, coming out of Manos Publishing. Now, Red Knight is written by Justin Cristelli, artist is JC Grand, colors are by Forrester Ranlett, letterer and editing by Lindsay Cristelli, and pinup art by James Harmon. Now, Red Knight is bringing us to a world following Todd McLean. And his goal in life has always been to join the Union of Superheroes. And during a childhood accident, he was able to gain super strength. But there are certain laws that are in place on this world, and it's that if you are a superhero, you can't do so without a license. It would be illegal. And only a few select people are actually allowed to be licensed. So without further ado, let's dive in. First pages bring us to Norfolk, Virginia. We're brought to two kids, Todd and his friend, and they're sitting outside and they're gazing at the stars, and they see Captain Danger flying through the sky. And this prompts a discussion about superheroes in general, and if they're allowed, they should be allowed to do what they do, because they do also cause destruction and property damage, and people get hurt. And so they have the age-old discussion, about how superheroes should be allowed or not allowed due to circumstances. And obviously, they're on opposing sides of this, and it gets heated, and then there's silence, and then we see them kissing. And so then we're brought to present day, and we have Todd McLean, aka the Red Knight, sitting on top of the Rotunda building, and him and his team of vigilantes are essentially learning this as a new thing. This is their first night out. And so you have Fireball, and then you have Nonstop. And these three are planning their attack on what they're going to be doing tonight as their first mission, essentially. And you can really tell by the dialogue, the way they talk to each other, that these guys are really, really fresh, really new, really cherry to the vigilante world. And so they're planning on taking down a drug dealer. And not just like a drug dealer, a superpowers enhancing drug type of drug dealer. And you really got to enjoy their banter, their back and forth, and how they talk to each other. It's really like you can tell, like, it's not like a, people listen to Batman kind of thing. It's like we all have opposing views and we all think our ideas are kind of better. It's very amateur superhero, which I think is what makes it really awesome. And so we cut to our drug dealer, Mr. Brick, and he's seated with Python and Pop Girl. And they're having a meeting with somebody to sell these human enhancers. And so they sit down and discuss the terms and conditions of the deal and things of that nature. And before the deal's able to be struck, our three vigilantes crash through the window. And these guys are so amateur to it that they don't even have like a catchphrase going in. They kind of hesitate and mumble a little bit. It's really awesome. And then our bad guys attack. And honestly, they are just knocking the crap out of our vigilantes. And at the same time, we see outside the police saying that their cover's blown. So the people that came to buy these human enhancing drugs were actually cops. And so it shows us the abilities of these criminals. And Pop Girl and Python. Pop Girl has like electricity based powers, and Python is more elongated man. He can stretch his body. And these guys just throw around our heroes left and right. And the cops wait outside because of all the gunfire going on. And these guys, the villains, have pretty much assumed that they've won. Like, all the heroes are on the ground. One of the cops is incapacitated. And then Mr. Brick goes over to Red Knight and picks him up after he hears Red Knight whispering some words. And Red Knight says, "I didn't know I was bulletproof." And then he just starts to kick his butt. So this is where we see Red Knight really come into play and just bash these guys up. And with help from the officer that was in the room, they disband the three. And the cops come into the room and they go to cuff Mr. Brick. But before they're able to get the power dampening cuffs on him, we see Mr. Brick morph into what seems to be like a giant steel or rock-based meta powers that just makes him invulnerable to gunshots and super strong. And he takes Red Knight and throws him literally through the window and out onto the ground. Mr. Brick follows, and as everybody around Mr. Brick is trying to do something, shooting guns at him, but nothing's even working. And we're seeing him just pick up cars and throw them like they're absolutely nothing. And then Mr. Brick picks up a vehicle with a family in it and throws it up into the building, and it's stuck in the wall. With only two options, to fight him or let them die, Red Knight goes to try to rescue, while the cop that was inside the bar says that she's going to take on Mr. Brick. And that is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I am definitely enjoying this comic. It's really fun. I like the amateur aspect of it. I love how these guys are not so serious and, you know, battle hardened, but these guys are fresh. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go out and we're gonna be heroes, you know, and I really love it. It's fun. You guys should definitely check it out. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And until the next video.